Okay, so let us see basic sketches. See, I'll take a simple example. See, before jumping into three-dimensional modeling part, so before, let us check an example of three-dimensional model. So this is a very basic three-dimensional model like a speed cone, so everybody are familiar with it. So the major drawback behind this 3D modeling and also uh, proper procedure to model any given component is, first we have to think, not directly by visualizing this model, directly jumping into software and modeling it directly. So at the first insight, you have to observe whether there are two types of components. One are extruded components, and the second one is uh, revolved components. So there are some operations, some 3D models that can be both extruded and also it can be revolved. Like example, let us take the split cone. I can get this cone by extruding, right? I can draw different circular profiles. I can extrude by using 38, 38, 38, and 40. So I can do it that way. Or else the second way is to the hatched portion is the cross section of this profile. So draw the cross section and revolve the component. So that is how you get this. So there are two different ways. So now you have to think which method you need to follow. So that procedure, the first step is to draw the profile and revolve it with respect to a given axis. So that is what intuition you have to get into your mind. So in the same way, example, I have a second figure. So this is a little bit an extruded component. So now for what is the procedure I need to follow? So which plane do I need to start, and where do I start this particular 3D drawing? So let us take this 3D drawing. In this over here, let us take the front plane and draw this particular profile, right? All this profile and just extrude it. Then you will get a basic shape. After getting this basic shape, make a through hole from the top and make a slot in the left portion and the right portion. And the final step is to make a slot from the right portion, that is from the side. So this procedure you have to keep in your mind. Like this is my first step, and this is my second step. This is my third step. So that procedure you need to figure it out before jumping into three-dimensional modeling. That is irrespective of software. Again, even for any given figure, you need to think first. So first thing is you need to know the commands. You need to have a good grip on the software. What commands are there in that particular software and how they are going to work. That is the first and primary thing. In coming to three-dimensional modeling, you have to think from where I need to start the figure. That is the first step. So for this figure, I need to take the front plane. I need to take a front plane and draw the profile of this and extrude it. Later, make these pockets wherever necessary and through hole necessary. So this step-by-step procedure you have to uh, keep in your mind. That is the first thing. So don't blindly jump into this figure and draw some. Take the top view, draw these two rectangles and extrude it, and you would be in a position that right, next what is the step. So you should not be in that way. Okay, so that intuition you have to keep. So that is the first step. Now let us take this example, or else let me go through the options what are there in this module. And as I have said, you can make sure your origin is visible, or else you can hide them. See, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Okay, you can hide them or else you can visualize them. Okay, that is up to you whether you make sure it is hidden or visible. Okay, so now let me take a simple sketch. Go to sketch. I'll take a top plane. Now I'll go with a simple rectangle. Just finish it. Okay, now I'll just make a simple extrude. So we can go to create and simple extrude. So I'll select the profile and I'll just drag it or else give any dimension to it. Okay, this is how you there are different options you need to explore. See, the first option is profile plane. See, profile plane is nothing but the plane on which you are going to draw. So wherever your sketch is there, that is called as a profile plane. And offset plane, that means you from where you need to start or else giving an offset. So as this is my ground level, so if I need to start a sketch up, let us say 5 mm above the ground, okay, that you can specify offset plane. Okay, offset, give a distance of let us say 5 mm, or else see, from the ground it is 5 mm, let us say 15 mm. So from the ground the extrusion starts at an offset of 15 mm. From there it goes to a 40 mm length. Okay, so overall the height of the object would be 40 plus 15, okay, 55 mm, but the extruded length would be only 40. Okay, that is how offset plane works from the object. See, if you have another object, till that object you can extrude. The basic thing is taking a profile plane and extruding it, and by giving a simple distance to it. Okay, to the object means it has if there is any object on the top of it, till that you can extrude. Okay, so through all means it can extrude inside the object and all. And direction is either one side. I have two sides. I can extrude 40 mm top and 30 mm below. Okay, if I have two sides, side number one you can specify one, side number two you can specify 30 mm, 40 mm, whatever it might be. And symmetric means it goes 40 mm either way, 50 mm either way. Okay, that is how it does. And so let us take the basic one side method, and you can specify a taper angle. So now as I extrude, okay, as I extrude there is no taper to this. If I need to have a taper angle, let us say 7 degrees or so, there will be a taper. Okay, a taper can be specified. So that is how you get a tapered extrusion. Let me put it as 0 for now. Okay, and the last one is called operation. See, there are two methods to draw, to model any given component. One is multi-body modeling or else a simple three-dimensional modeling. In multi-dimensional modeling, what we will do is we will use Boolean operations. See, Boolean operations, see, if I want to make a hole over here, what I can do is directly go over here, I can make a direct hole, or else I can draw a rectangle and I can make a pocket over here. Okay, that is the straightforward procedure. What Boolean operation does is I can draw another rectangle exactly at the center and remove that rectangle from the solid. Then I can get a simple hole. Those are called Boolean operations. If you open this, now by default it is a new body. This is a new body what I'm creating. Over here you have join, cut, intersect. Okay, these three options are called Boolean operations. So we will learn that in next class in Sunday session. Okay, uh, those are called Boolean operations. That is method 2. Today we'll go with the straightforward procedure itself. And there are two options called body and component. This is one of the most important things in Fusion 360. What is meant by body and what is meant by component? See, bodies are only a three-dimensional solid elements. That's all. Now you can model two or three types of bodies, and you can combine that to make a single component. Single component here, it actually it makes sense as it is a single part actually. Okay, a single part can be obtained, like example, if I have in this PDF. Okay, so the final, see, in the first thing what you'll do, you'll draw the profile and you will revolve it. That becomes that becomes one body, and you will be adding a hole, so that you have to draw a solid and you have to remove it. Okay, that becomes second object. That means body number 2. And you have to make a hole, that becomes body number 3. So there are two or three types of bodies. You can add, subtract, and do operations. Finally, you will get a single component. Okay, or else you can model two or three bodies, and you can combine it to a single new component. Okay, that we will be uh, checking when we go with assembly design. Okay, so in assembly design we need only components to assemble, not bodies to assemble. And in bodies we cannot add any material. We can add material only to a new component. Okay, so that is about new body, component and boolean operations. Okay, so click OK. So that is how you do a simple extrusion operation. So now if you want to edit this extrusion operation, at bottom of your screen you will be having extrude 1. Double click it. So you can edit this component. So to get different kinds of shapes, go with two sides and give a taper angle of let us say 7 degrees over here, and go with the third, let us suppose 10 degrees over here. Okay, click OK. So these kind of complicated or else different kind of looking structures you can directly get it by using tapered angles, and you have to have a good grip on what these options can do. Then if I give this figure to model, then you need to get in your mind that okay fine, I have to draw a rectangle at given uh, position, and I need to extrude it in either direction, and I need to give a taper angle. Okay, so I have done this modeling only by using a single step. Okay, that is what your mind or else your thinking process should be. Okay, uh, excuse me. Okay, that is how you need to think. I mean, that is a designer how actually he thinks in a proper way. Enough. Let me go with a simple one. Okay, this is a simple rectangle. Enough. Okay, now taking this as example, now we will see all these options after this construction elements. Okay, now now let us see this construction elements, and later on we will come into this revolve, the sweep, loft and options and all. Okay, construction. So these are construction elements. So by default you have xy, yz and zx planes. So apart from these default planes cannot be deleted. Okay, one thing you have to remember is these three planes cannot be deleted and cannot be edited. You cannot move these planes. And what you can do is, if I want to model if I want to make a sketch exactly half the length of this rectangle, I need to construct and another plane. Actually I need to create a plane. If I need to do any operations exactly on this corner, I need to create a point. If I need to revolve along this line, along this edge, I can draw an axis along this edge. So wherever you want, you can draw and give an axis, planes and points. Okay, let us see what are those options. First one is offset plane. Let us click this offset plane. So let me select this YZ plane. Now I can create an offset plane. Let me zoom in. Okay, I can create an offset plane, XZ offset plane at a 10 mm distance or 15 mm distance. Okay, so that is how I create a simple offset plane. Let us click OK. I got a plane which resembles just like an exit plane, but it is with an offset of 15 or 20 mm. Okay, now I can select this plane. I can draw any sketch over here, and I can do any given operations. Okay, this is called as a simple offset plane. And next, plane at a given angle. So these are called angular planes. Angular planes are very important in your drawings. Okay, angular plane. So for any given angular plane, there should be a center line or a center axis. Okay, so let me suppose I need to create an angular plane. Let us say with respect to this edge, I will select this as my rotating center, and I'll create a given plane which is 45 degree. Let us suppose it is 30 degrees. Click OK. Now I got an angular plane which is 30 degrees with respect to this edge. Okay, now if I want to create a plane at a given angle with respect to the default z axis, I can create at the origin itself. Okay, let me give this as 30 degrees. Okay, either way. So wherever you want, you can create an angular planes. Okay, so the purpose of this angular planes is click this plane. I'll go to a simple let me model any given circle in a sketch. Let me extrude this circle in either direction, in both the directions, in two sides. Okay, click OK. Over here what I have said is we can join, we can cut, or we can intersect. So okay, by default it has taken us to cut. Okay, let me join this. Okay, now if I join, this is body number 1 and this is body number 2. Okay, if I open these bodies folder, okay, okay, now I have as I have combined, so this is this is making as a single body. Now if I take another plane over here, let me take another plane, take event sketch, and finish. Just extrude this, click OK. Now it has taken this as body number 1 and body number 2. So there are different types of bodies. You can add these two bodies, or else by default taking in this step I have used Boolean operations method. In this operation I have taken two separate bodies actually. Okay, so that is how it works. Okay, let me make sure it is okay. Okay, so that is how you create, that is the use of creating an angular planes. And the next one is tangent plane. Now if I want to create a plane which is tangent to the surface, okay, and wherever you want you can create that particular tangent plane. Let me zoom in properly. Okay, I'm creating a plane which is tangent to this particular surface. Click OK. Now I have created a plane which is tangent to this surface. Let me hide body 1. Now we will do some operations over here. Now if I want to have another sketch onto this plane, another cylinder or some kind of element, I'll take this in a sketch. I'll just extrude it in one direction, in both directions. Okay, it is saying to cut. I'll just add it. Okay, this is how I make a angular plane. Okay, that is how you actually make use of these tangent surfaces. Now if I want to have a hole which is tangent to this particular surface, so what I'll do, just double click. Yes, so I'll let
Adesso che mi dicerai, il lavoro di Boris.
introduce yourself first.
Intanto scontrà?
Okay, regarding this practice exercise and practice questions, I have mailed to everyone. So in your two-dimensional sketch, I have mailed in, I have given 4 exercises in yesterday's mail, and today also after teaching this 3D modeling, I'll give you 3D model exercises. Okay, so don't worry about these practice materials. So you regularly have to check your mail. And see, now the purpose of this plane which is normal to the surface is it has to, you can create a hole which is perfectly normal or else which is perfectly tangent to this given surface. That is how you create a hole which is exactly normal to the tangent to a given surface or else normal to a given surface. Okay, that is the use of this construction elements. Let me press Ctrl Z and next mid plane. Now if I want to create a plane which is exactly lying at the midpoint of these two given faces. Let me hide body number one. Okay. Now I don't know what is the length of this particular rectangle. So but I need to create exactly at mid portion of this thing. I'll go to mid plane. I'll select face number one and I'll select face number two. So it will automatically create a mid plane exactly at the center of these two given planes. Okay, that is how you create a mid plane. So you can select any two given surfaces, it will automatically create a mid plane. So plane through two edges. Now that option is exactly, see, if I have two edges, edge number one and edge number two. So passing through these two given edges, I can create a plane. Okay, but I to create that kind of a plane, I don't have any given angle. See, if I actually if I move this component or else if I extrude even further, the angle would change, right? So I cannot fix a plane, I cannot give a particular angle to it. So in that case, what I'll do, I'll go plane through two given edges, edge number one and edge number two. So it will create a plane passing through two edges of a given rectangle or else whatever it might be, how complicated the structure is. So it will create a plane which is passing through all these two edges. Okay, next step, plane through 3 points. Now this is one of the most trickiest one. Now I have 3 points which are lying on three different axes. Let me take point number one, let me take point number two, and let me take point number three, which is over here. Okay, these 3 points lie on three different planes. One is on let me say x-axis, one is lying on y-axis, one is lying on z-axis. Okay, there are three different points which lie on three different axes. I can create a plane which can be combined, which will be passing through all these three given points. Okay, construct, go to a plane which will be point number one, point number two, and point number three. See, let's check the orientation of this plane. See how this plane is formed. Okay, a plane which is passing through three given points. See, this is one of the most important types of planes which you will be asked in your examination. So he will be asking to create a plane which will be passing through vertex number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And he will be asking to manipulate or else draw any object and find the length of it. Okay, so this is how you create a 3-point plane. Okay, this is how it actually looks. It looks really confusing, but this is the purpose of it. So there are many different uses. Okay, and plane tangent to a face at a given point, it exactly works like tangent plane. Okay, along a given path, if you have a sketch and if you want to create a plane, that goes normal to it. Okay, and axis through cylinders. Now we'll go quickly through axes. Okay, now I want to create an axis along the center of this cylinder. I need to generate an axis. Okay, go to construct axis through a given cylinder, cone, or torques. I'll select this one. It automatically creates an axis. Okay, that is how you create a single axis. So if there is no given axis, again go to construct axis perpendicular at a given point. So at a given point, now I'll be selecting location on a face. So at a given point, wherever I click, if I click over here, it will give a plane which is perpendicular to a selected face. Okay, at wherever at a given respective point, wherever I click, at that particular point it will create a axis which is perpendicular to this face. Click OK. Again go to construction in the same way, axis through two planes. Now if I have two planes which is let me have construct axis through two planes, plane number one and plane number two. It will create an axis which is parallel to or else to both these planes, or else simply it is an intersection plane, intersection axis. Okay, you can create this either way, axis through two given points. Now if I want to create an axis, let me say this corner and its opposite corner of the cube at this particular corner. Okay, I can create an axis which is passing through this, and that is a three-dimensional axis which does not have any particular orientation. this is oriented with respect to xy plane, yz plane, and zx plane. Okay, these are really complicated axes to work on with. Okay, these axes are they have a particular angle. Okay, so if I make sure this is normal to my view, this will become a single line, simple line. If I view from the top view, this line would be normal. And if you want to check this line, see from where you actually check, it will be in a given angle. All the three axes, it has been oriented. Okay, that is one of the complicated structures. The next one is axis through a simple edge. See, similar to this edge, if you want to create an axis, simply click a given edge and click OK. It will create a simple axis along a given edge. Axis perpendicular to the face at a given point, that is very similar to axis perpendicular at a given point. Okay, and next, point or a vertex. See, I have vertex over here, but I don't have a point. See, vertex, and difference between vertex and a given point is, if you have a solid element, you have a vertex. We don't call this as a point. Okay, so in order to extract that vertex to a given point at vertex, so select any vertex, click OK. Now that vertex will be turned into a point. Now at this given point, I can draw any plane, or else I can draw any axis. Okay, that is how you create a point at any given position. A point which is passing through two edges. Like if I have an intersection, I want to make at edge number 1 and edge number 2. Click OK. So at this corner, I can create any given point. Okay, so intersection of two edges and point through three planes. So if I have three planes, like where it is actually intersecting, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you can use that option, or else directly you can create a point at this given corner. Okay, point at the center of a circle. This is one of the easiest and most useful points. If I want to have to derive a center point for this face, right? I have an axis already, but if I want to select, let us say this angular plane, I'll select this face. Exactly, it will derive the center of this axis. Okay, for a cylinder, cone, or circular type of geometries. Okay, point at an edge and a given plane. So it will create a point. I'll take a simple linear edge and I'll select a given plane. It automatically creates a plane which is parallel to both of this. So at the intersection point, it has created where this plane and this edge intersects. Okay, there are various purposes. Point along the given path is if you have any spline or any kind of thing along a given path. If you have a sketch, you can create number of points along a given sketch, along that given profile. Actually, that is how it works. Okay, by this,
Excuse me, sir.
yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
sir, can you please explain how to draw with respect to some plane? The plane which are all created, right? Other plane.
Which plane?
Some anything random plane. Select any random plane.
Okay.
Then how to draw with respect to with that plane?
Okay, I have shown this one now. Okay, fine. I'll do it with. Okay. Now I'll be explaining. So after to explain this extrude, revolve, sweep commands, now I have to explain this construction plane. So I have explained it first. Okay, in the extrusion operation, I'll be explaining the next step. Okay. Okay. Now let me take this plane itself and take this plane and go to create sketch. You will be going into Sketcher module and draw any given shape. Let me take the center rectangle for now, and onto this I'm drawing any given rectangle. Escape and sketches. Okay, now if you want to extrude it, click extrude operation and automatically it will select your recent sketch and you give any distance, let us say 50 mm, 40 mm. By default it is going to cut because there is an existing solid now what it actually does is it is asking to cut. I mean, if you want to cut it. Now, if I want to make a new body, you can make a new body. Okay, that will become a separate body. If you want to join into this body, you can directly join it. Let me take two sides. I'll give 40 mm. Now, join operation, what it actually does is it combines this solid and this solid into a single body. If I don't want to join, I want to make it as a separate new body, a body number 1, body number 2, and it will become a body number 3. This extrusion, whatever I do now operation, that becomes a new body. Okay, let me join this body into, let me combine. Okay, click OK. Now I got a if I click body number 1, all this is now a unique body. So that is how you create a simple extrusion. Take a plane, go to sketch, you can draw any profile, and you have to extrude it. Okay, now that is how you actually do it. And next extrusion operation I have explained to you. And next let me delete it. Okay, let me keep these operations. Let me hide these bodies and all. Okay, let me work on with these planes. Okay, the next option is okay. Okay, okay. Let me go to revolve option. In revolve, there are revolved objects and extruded objects. In revolved objects, we need to have one axis and one given profile. Okay, go to sketch. Okay, I'll select any given plane to let me do this rough profile of this one. These are revolved components, right? So what actually, how do you actually get this profile? By taking a front plane, draw the cross section of this one, and you need to revolve it. Let me quickly go through and a sample of this one. I'll select front plane. Front plane is nothing but your YZ plane. I'm going to select this plane. See, you can hide all these planes, ma. Whatever you have created, your planes, axis, and everything. It is for you. It is really confusing in the first instance. You can hide all these planes. And now, let me go to this profile and I'll draw it roughly for now. Okay. See, if you observe, if I revolve this, this is my profile I have drawn, closed profile. Okay, this more or less just similarly, it will be looking just like the cross section of this one. Okay, this exact cross section with your given dimensions you have to draw. Make sure you need to, it takes time, and just finish your sketch, exit the sketcher workbench, and now you need to create and revolve. Click revolve. See, in revolve you need to have two options. One is the profile and one is the axis to which it will be revolving. Select the profile. So by default it has been selected, and now select the axis to which it needs to revolve. This is the axis on which it needs to revolve, right? I'm selecting this axis. So you got this complete profile. Okay, if I rotate it, you can see this hollow component. Okay, this is my cross section. I have revolved it, and in revolve option you have 360 degrees or a given particular angle. If I want to get a, let us say 270, let me suppose 270. In your figure it has been shown as 270, right? So in order to get that exact shape, see, this drawing, in order to show it as an isometric view, he had make a section. I mean, this is a section cut, that's all. This does not mean that you have to draw a 3D model by taking this revolve option as 270 degrees only. But in fact, this is 360 degrees solid component. Okay, don't confuse that. If you, in your examination, if he says to draw this component, don't revolve it for 270 degrees. You have to revolve it for 360 degrees. In order to show the section, why they have section? Because they, you need to, there is some internal components like a hole. There are two to three types of holes in order to show that he has made a section cut. That's all. Okay, don't confuse regarding 370 or 360 degrees or 270 degrees. Just a 360 degree complete component. Okay, and so in order to make it 360 degree, if you want 360 or 270 or 180 or 45 degrees, you can make it alongside. Okay, again you have new body, intersect, join, and everything. Okay, direction, either one side or two side direction. Then what happens if you select two sides? Second side you can give 30 degrees. Okay, this is 180 and this is 30. Okay, that is how you control two directions. Got the point? In some cases he will be asking to do these kind of figures, and so that is up to you. So depending upon your 3D model, you have to do it. For presently I will go with 360 degrees. Okay, so that is how you get a revolved component. Yeah, that is about revolve. And next, sweep. Sweep, what it actually does is you need to have a profile which is perpendicular to a given sketch. Okay, let me hide this body, and you need to have, see, you can observe a preview of it. Okay, sweep. See, in the sweep option, there is a profile called circle, and you have a profile to it. Okay, and let me draw a simple sketch on the XY or else any given plane. You can go with spline, or else you can go with a simple line also. Okay, let me go with a simple spline. And one thing you have to remember is in any given software, splines cannot be constrained. It is impossible to constrain a spline because a spline is made up of infinite number of points. See, these are one of the control points. See, I can keep this point over here, or else I can move this point over here, right? I cannot fix this point, right? Even though if I fix this point, there will be another point you can create in between these 2 points. Okay, the curvature of this line, I mean this spline cannot be fixed. That is impossible to do. So that is one of the most important questions in your interview, whether you can constrain, fully define your spline. No, you cannot do it. Okay, so that is why splines are mostly it is not used actually, properly speaking, in your automobile design. Okay, so now this is your simple spline, and to this I need to get a perpendicular sketch. I'll go to create sketch. Okay, let's escape. Okay, okay. Now create sketch. I need to get a profile which is perpendicular to this one. So what is the perpendicular plane for this given path? This is the perpendicular plane. Now to this given perpendicular plane, I'll draw a circle, or else you can draw any given profile, but that is not limited to your okay, let me go with center rectangle. Okay. In a sketch, that is not limited to your circle itself. You can draw any given profile, any complicated profile, and you can sweep it. So only one thing you need to follow is in a sweep operation, your sketch or else your profile should be perpendicular to the path followed. Then that is the only way you can get a sweep operation. Okay, go to create sweep. Now it will be asking for single path, or else select the profile. This is my profile, and select the given path. This is my given path. Okay, got the point? So this is how you design your vented structures. Okay, I mean design vents and all everything. So one is profile, second is path. This is called sweep operation. Profile is my rectangle, that is my rectangular cross section. Path is a given spline. Instead of spline, you can draw a simple line also, and you can give fillets. Okay, generally we follow that procedure. Okay, that is how you go with sweep operation. And see, you can control that by using a distance operation, right? Tapered angles, twist angles, you can just explore it parallel to it. And see, parallel to this plane only you can get smoother curves. Okay, now I have drawn it perpendicular. Parallel planes are even more studious to draw. And if you want to have a taper angle, just specify, see, along this one end, so I'll mention taper angle as 4 degrees. Okay, now if I have want to have a taper angle for 4 degrees, that is how it takes. Okay, and if you want to have multiple path and a guide rail, see, guide rails and these things are a little bit complicated, so I'll just explain what is a guide rail. Okay, see, this is about a simple sweep operation. Okay, in this sketch I have used only a path and also a simple profile. Okay, let me hide even this. Okay, to explain what are guide rails and everything, so I'm taking a plane. I'll draw a simple rectangle. Mm, a rectangle. Select a fillet right at the corner. Sketch. Okay, now I'll draw another sketch. I'll just explain what I'm doing. Okay, I'll take a line, draw a line which is parallel to this. Okay, take this fillet and first, second. Okay, I'm giving a random value to it. Okay, finish my sketch. Okay, to this profile, I'll draw a, see, this is the path I'm drawing. Now I'll select a plane and I'll draw my profile. Let me draw a simple rectangular profile. Okay, finish sketch. Okay, okay. Create auto sweep operation. Select the profile. This is my profile. Select the path. This would be my path. Okay, it should be very perpendicular. Okay, sketch number 12. Okay, so sweep. I'll just select this as my file. And select this as my path. Okay, these are not intersecting. Okay, what I'll do is sketch delete. I'll create a plane at a given offset. Okay, there is a actual plane. On this plane, I'll be drawing a sketch. Plane. Okay, so let me sweep file. We take this path, and over here instead of single path and guide rail, I'm using guide rail as this line. Okay, distance I'll be giving it as 30, 39. It's not taking. Okay, path should be even more. Okay, let me draw this in another sketch. Let me take sketch and take this plane over here. I'll draw a new path. Take a fillet. Okay, my sketch. So over here, go to create, sweep, files. Path will be this. Guide rails. Select guide rails. Okay. Okay, fine. Showing a smooth, it is not smooth actually. So I have to change my dimension. So that the basic thing is this would be my guide rail. So it should be of exact dimension to this one. Okay. So if you have a perfect dimensions, then it would be really easy for you. Okay, so that is how the guide rail is. What it actually does is it extrudes. See, after creating a sweep operation, this would be your guided path actually. So it changes shape exactly at this corner. So if I need to change the shape of it, okay, if you change the shape of this, instead of 9, go with 12 or any given value. So that is how it actually works normally. So we'll get back to this again. Okay, and the next is loft operation. In the loft operation, you need to have two offset planes. So one plane is offset. So let me take a solid element on the top plane, draw a circle, or else let me take a simple rectangle, square, or whatever it might be. And you have again create sketch on the bottom plane, draw a polygon like circumscribed polygon. So let me take exactly the center of this one. So let me take the edges as 3 as center. I'll get a simple triangle. Now combining these two features, so create, go to loft, select first profile and select second profile, create. Okay, so you will get a some kind of see what it actually does is it creates a solid between an upper profile and a given bottom profile. So my bottom profile would be a triangle and upper profile would be of a simple square. It will combine both these things and it will derive a simple solid geometry. So you can have a, instead of a instead of a square, you can go with circle also. Okay, so that is how what he has shown in this loft operation. Square and a circle he has combined. Now instead of triangle and rectangle, you can combine that. And the next option is rip command. So let me hide the sketch. Let me hide this body. Okay, now go to sketch, front plane. Okay, finish sketch. Is it closed? Okay, fine. It is closed. Now I'm just making an extrude operation of this plane. Distance is 40 mm. Click OK. Now over here, this body operation, and make it symmetry. Click OK. Now exactly, I want to make a rib. Rib is a kind of a stiffeners. Those are called stiffeners. So I'll take a sketch. I'll draw a simple line exactly on this mid plane. I don't draw a complete figure actually. So I'll draw a simple line which will be passing through this and exit my sketch. So taking this line as reference, I will make a simple rib. Create, go to rib operation. I'll select this line as my rib. So depth option up to next, and thickness is you can give up to 5 or 6 or whatever it might be. Go with 10 mm, so whatever it might be, whether it could be symmetric or one direction. So depth is nothing but this. This is called as depth up to next. So it should always be your solid element. Okay, flip direction. You can just flip either direction. If you have a solid in another way, you can just go with that. Okay, that is how you get a simple rib. Now if I want to change the angle of this rib, go to sketch, and you can. So if I want to have a different angle, so change the direction, or else give any. So instead of 18 I can go with 10, or else let me give 10. Let me. Okay, I have changed the shape of it. Okay, it automatically gets updated. So that is the beauty of this rib command. Okay, next step. After this rib, you have web option. So let me unhide my body. Okay, where are my bodies? Okay, so let me draw another sketch on the top, and draw a simple rectangle, and I'll just extrude it. Okay, I'll make shells. I want to remove this face. So shell thickness would be 4 mm. Okay. Now what I have done is I have drawn a simple shell rectangular component, and in between over here you need to have some web means it can be of any structure, like we will be asking in a 3D printing operation. We have honeycomb structure, we have a rectangular cross section structure, or is a triangular structure, whatever it might be. So what I'll do is I'll make a mid plane. I'll take construction, I'll go construction, I'll take a mid plane between uh, mid plane. I'll select the first, and I'll go with this bottom. Okay, click OK. So I have selected this mid plane. So exactly on this plane, I'll draw some profile, some random profile. You can draw your honeycomb structure or whatever it might be. So for this time being, I'm drawing a simple straight lines in order to show how actually a simple web works. Okay. Okay. Now finish sketch. Okay. Now if I've drawn, just like it works just like a simple rib, but these are called a web. So create simple web, select all the curves on which you need to make a simple web. Web. Okay. Select the first one. Select the 5 mm. No, I want just only 2 mm. Press enter. You can select 1, 2 and 3. All the 3 sketches you can combinedly you can select, or else if you want only one web, you can go with only a single web. So the web thickness can be of 2 mm or 3 mm, whatever it might be. So you can draw your honeycomb structure, or else you can draw any given triangular shape. So whatever it might be, it will create a simple web-like structure. These are also called as ribs, but ribs are called ribs are angular ones, webs are perpendicular ones. That is the only difference, but both are called stiffening elements. Okay, that is how you actually do a simple web. Now, so what I'll do is I'll just come back. Okay, I have a solid element over here, and the next option is simple hole. So hole, you need to have a face. So what it is asking, a face and a given point. Okay, so you can create a custom given point. At that particular point you can create any hole, or else you can just move the component wherever at a given random place. Okay, so there are different types of holes, so you need to have a hole type. See, one is through hole, and you have counter bore, and you have countersunk holes. See, counter bore and countersunk holes, you can derive the depth of it. See, a preview will be shown. So if you just drag it, okay, it will show the preview of which type of hole you are making it. Okay, this is a simple through, this is counter bore, and this is counter sunk. So if you want to derive, see, at any given distance it is mentioning what is the depth of it and depth of this hole and everything. Okay, so it is 1 mm, so I'll just extrude it to 4 mm, and the diameter of this one would be less than 5 mm. Okay, click OK. So hole type, drill type, threaded or clearance, so all these hole based system you have to have a good idea on. Okay, so for now time being, I'll just go with a simple hole. Okay, so now it is a flat. Okay, that is a simple flat hole which is of depth of 10 mm and diameter of 5 mm. I made a simple hole. Okay, that is a simple hole, and you can explore all that options, right? Okay, so let me go through this. Okay, instead of distance I'll go with through all. Okay, I'll click OK. What it does is it makes a hole throughout the given solid. Now the next one option is creating a threaded hole. So to this given hole, I am selecting this face in order to make a given thread. So you need to have an idea of threads, what kind of threads you need to have. ISO, generally we go with ISO metric profile like M5, M8 or whatever it might be. Okay, so nominal diameter it is 4 mm, 5 mm, so whatever it might be you can go with. So that is how you need to have an idea on. Okay, so class a whole way system like 6 capital H, it is a whole way system and shaft based system. That right-handed threads or left-handed threads, you can just give a value to it. Okay, click OK. Okay, it will make a simple threaded hole. Okay, you can just observe it in an assembly. So this whole internal thread should be matched with that external threads. Okay, then only the particular assembly could be done. And now,
సార్
yeah ma'am,
సార్ ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ చెప్పారా ఇంటర్నల్ థ్రెడ్
thread. Okay, fine. Control Z. Okay, create. It's making me irritated. Okay, thread. In this thread, the input what you have to give is the face. Okay, click the face on which you need to make a thread. See, always try to remember, first you will drill a hole of nominal length of, a diameter of 6 mm. To that 6 mm you will make a taper, tap drills, where you will take a tap and you will make a threaded hole. Okay, so for that you need to have a basic hole first of 6 mm or nominal diameter. For that you can make a thread. That is the process. First you need to make a hole. Directly you cannot thread. You need to make a hole, then you need to make a thread. Okay, for this directly it will be directly taking what is your nominal diameter. The size of the hole would be 5 mm. For that you can get M5. So for M5 more or less we'll be getting 4.8 or depending upon pitch. So you can M8 sorry M5.5 0.5 pitch or 0.8 pitch. So that you have to have an idea on. Okay, all these metric threads. See, you can explore all these options. Generally, we'll go with metric threads, trapezoidal threads, pipe threads. So generally, we go with the metric threads. Okay, and just click OK. So select any and just click OK. You will be having with threaded hole. Okay, that is how you add a thread to a given hole. Okay, and next. So these are. This is a long. I mean, this is a lengthier way actually to make a solid element. Okay, instead of all these, I'll hide all the sketches for now. Okay. Okay. So instead of all these bodies, if we want to create a simple body, just select any given plane and select any given point, draw a rectangle and just extrude it. You can define a cube of a given length, width and height in a single operation itself. These are called primitive solids. Okay, primitive shapes or primitive solids, whatever you call it. Click OK. That is how you create. That is the ease of creating a simple solid element directly. Okay, that is how you can. These are basic cylinders. Okay, I mean basic shapes. Take any face or take any given point. Create a hole. You can create a direct solid element. Click OK. That is how fast you can create a simple solid. Instead of regular method is with drawing a sketch, extruding it and revolving it in. So that those are different options. For sphere again, you select any given plane. I'm going to select this plane. So a plane can be obtained and you can give a diameter of the particular sphere 80 mm or whatever it might be. Click OK. Okay, so that is how you create a simple sphere and torus. See, and you have to select the base profile on which plane you are going to draw on, and you select the center point of the torus, and you select the diameter of the torus, and you will be getting the diameter of this. If you want to increase the size of the torus, you can increase. If you want to increase the thickness of it, directly you can increase it. So you got a simple tire of it. In the internal diameter, external diameter. Right? You can just explore these options. Just increase the play with the diameters, that's all. The torus would be simple as such. Okay, just like a donut kind of thing. Okay, and a simple coil. So if you want to make a simple coil, don't use this sweep operations. Like, I mean, general people would be following like you draw a circle, you draw a uh, line or something else, you actually sweep it with respect to that. Okay, so that is, instead of that, there are ready-made operations. Okay, let me take this bottom plane and I'll make sure I'll draw. This would be my spring size and give a length of it. And if you want to have even more increase the diameter of it, just increase the diameter of it. If you want to make number, I mean you can control all these things by using your palette, I mean your palette even. So you can change the diameter of your spring to 80 or whatever it might. Okay, diameter, height, angle, everything. If you want to change the angle, see in some let me show it as 30 degrees. Okay, so these kind of springs are available. Okay, generally we have only a 90 degree, more or less we work with only 90 degree, and generally we can go with, okay, leave it as 0. Okay, now that you can have a square cross section, and you can have a triangular cross section, and you can have an triangular and internal and external. See, if you want to make a thread of your own, right? You can go with triangular threads and some kind of elements, like if you have lead screw. So for that, if you want to have an external thread, you can go with the triangular threads or a square thread. Okay, but actual way of creating a hole and thread is the hole option itself and threaded option itself. Okay, section position is on center, inside or outside. Okay, just like your sweep operation, what I have drawn in that particular figure, I have made my profile as an edge. Okay, you can make it as a center, you can make it as an outside. Okay, section size would be 5 mm. It is a simple square of 5 mm. Circle, triangle. Okay, triangular section size as 5 mm. Okay, this would be with respect to centroid. Okay, section size. Okay, and height, number of revolutions, just you can control. So we can play with these operations, whether it could be rotation along this or else the either way. You have a number of options. Okay, you can control it with pitch, I mean revolution and height. It will automatically detect the pitch, and if you have your own pitch, you can give the value of pitch. Okay, you can, if you want to have a spiral, okay, this is called as a spiral spring. It's a conical spring, the revolution and height, longitudinal springs. Click OK. So you can play with these operations. So go with circular, go with triangular, rectangle, square, and everything. So this can also be obtained by using the sweep operation also. Okay. You can draw a spline. Okay. So you can draw a conical spline, and you can draw a rectangular square portion. You can just revolve it. I mean, you can use sweep operation and a simple pipe. See, for a pipe operation, you need to have a at least a single path. So let me write. So do I have any sketch? Okay, quickly let me draw any given spline or some random shape. I'll go with spline. Okay, center and finish sketch. So instead of using the sweep operation, I don't want to use actually a sweep operation. I mean, I don't want to draw any circle with respect to this path. I'll directly go away, create a pipe, and I'll select this path as this one, and I'll give the cross section as square or as cross section as circle, whatever it might be. Okay, so this reduces more time actually. Instead of taking a plane drawing a regular sweep operation. Okay, instead of that, you have a direct circle cross section, square cross section, and triangular cross section. Generally we go with these kind of simpler elements rather than creating going with spline, I mean sweep, sorry. Section size would be, you can select the section size, just give the value of it, distance to it, and just you can just make it even larger. If you want to make it as an hollow, you can make it as hollow pipe. Okay, and you can change the shape of it square and click OK. You can get a simple operation. So to, in order to get this in another method, what you have to do is go to I mean, you have to create another cross section, and you need to make a shell operation. Okay, I mean, it turns this particular solid into a given shell. Okay, instead of that, directly you can go and create all these primitive shapes. Okay, and I quickly go with this rectangular pattern and select any solid element and create how many number of quantity you want, and one direction. I'll just go with this pattern type, bodies. Select this body, directions. Generally I'll go with this direction. I'll create 4 or 5. Okay, so select any distance and give those values to can have with rectangular pattern. Okay. So, and if you want to create a circular pattern, go to pattern, circular pattern, and instead of faces, go to bodies and objects to have to revolve it. Okay, axis. We'll go with Z axis. This as my Z axis. Okay, click OK quantity. So that is how I revolve, because this is actually very near to each other to maintain a sphere. If I change the size of the sphere to let us say 10 mm, then you can be visible to it. Okay. Okay. This is circular pattern. If I increase now, I can increase quantity to 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, whatever it might be. Okay. Crown. This is how I get a radial ball bearing. Okay. A simple ball bearings. That is how you create a circular pattern. Okay. And mirror objects is as simple as such. You need to create take a simple body and select any, say I'll select this as my body, and mirroring plane as this one. So I'll get another line. Okay, two bodies. This is a simple mirror. And thicken feature. So these are thicken feature is actually a surface entity. So while I teach your surface modeling, see, thicken feature is nothing but if you have a surface, it will add thickness to it. It is as simple as such. Okay, while I teach the surface, I'll just go with thicken operation and boundary fill also. Okay, boundary fill and thicken operations are same. I mean, little bit advanced. Let me teach when I go with surface design. Okay, so even this freeform modeling, tomorrow I'll be going with this freeform models. Okay, freeform is nothing but this complete operation. So if I go with this freeform, this is just like your unparametric modeling. Okay, all these are parametric models where you can control. This is a simple box or something else which does not have meaning. It is a little bit advanced. So let us see what is this freeform modeling in your next class. Okay. So after this freeform solutions, see, this is freeform modeling is take a clay and you can design whatever. You can pick any given face and you can manipulate. That is the beauty of clay modeling. Okay. We will see that in next class. Okay. So this is about your basic extrusions and all these operations. Okay, create mesh from given section, so create base feature. So all these are a little bit advanced. So while I teach parametric modeling, I'll come across all these things. Okay, boundary fill operations and surface modeling and all. Okay, so all these are multi-body operations. Okay, scale, combine, replace face, and split face. All these things we'll learn in the next class. Okay, modify and freeform modeling and modify toolbar. And by Monday we'll go with assembly design. So once we finish this freeform modeling and modify toolbar, and we'll go with Tuesday we'll go with assembly operation. Then Wednesday we'll just make a simple simulation and we'll wind up this course. And try to learn this construction feature. I'm sorry. Go with these construction elements now. Okay. And coming to this, what are left over? Derive operation, create sketch, freeform. Okay. New component. Okay, fine. That's all. I've covered all the options, I guess. Okay. Boundary fill and thicken operation. We'll be teaching in the next class. Okay, that is about 12:24 right now. It's a lengthier class. Okay, ma. So anyone will be having any doubts in this session, ma? Would you want to repeat any command? You can just unmute yourself and you can just have a chat, ma. So to organize, sir, can you explain how to do tapper operation? Okay, fine. So one question is how to do tapper operation. See, In an extrude operation itself, you have a taper. It's directly you have a taper command there. Okay. Here is this create sketch. Take any plane, draw any rectangle, taper, and you just extrude. You have a taper angle over here itself. Specify that as 7 degrees or whatever it might be. So if negative 7 degrees, it will go with negative taper angle. Okay, click OK. That is how you create a simple taper. And see, even press pull, all these things, we'll just go through it in next class. So even draft also. So taper and draft means draft can be of only one direction. Taper is in all the directions. If you give draft for all the directions and in all the sides, it would be a simple draft. I mean, it would be a simple taper. Okay, this we will go with in the next class. Okay, draft. So another way to give a taper is a simple draft.
సార్
Yeah.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు పిసిడి సర్కిల్స్ చేయాలంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక రింగ్ ఉంది అనుకో, దానిపైన ఒక 10 చిన్న హోల్స్ కావాలి.
Okay.
దాన్ని ఎట్లా చేయాలి?
Circular pattern. Fine. So there are two procedures now to do that. So let me hide all the bodies. Select all the bodies. Quickly go to drawing. Okay. Instead of 50, onto the screen, you need to add a PCD circle, and also you need to control it.
Okay.
Hole. So this is one method. So this is a simple hole. Okay, I'll click. So the size of this hole. Select that instead of 10 or 50. Diameter of 40. Now I have made a hole. So go to pattern and circle pattern. So this is one of the create. Yes, this one hole I will be creating. Select an axis of this one. Click
Okay.
And another way is to make a simple sketch on it. So I'll select this and I'll go over here. So I'll select circle point circle. I'll make this construction. I mean, this one has my PCD. So onto this PCD, this will be my circle. So another circle we create on this PCD and finish my sketch. Now I can make a pocket. So I can make at this particular given point. Go to new body, cut. I'll make the direction. Okay. Now I'll make this as a simple pattern. Circular pattern. I'll select this as my feature axis. Any given random axis. Click OK. Now I want to change the PCD. I'll go to that sketch. I'll go to the sketch and I'll change my PCD. So it's regarding PCD. To change this 250 to 200, your PCD will be changed. So automatically created and
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
you can create any point. So take a point and you make a hole and change the dimensions of and your can be changed. So are there any doubts, ma'am, for everyone? I guess there is no doubt for anyone. I guess. Okay. Uh, Thank you, everyone.